Good evening, everybody, to another episode of Wine Shine Quarantine. And like I told you, this is a lot of fun because I have all my friends who I normally have conversations with on the phone, but I decided to bring them online and live because I have made some really amazing choices in friends and we have some truly inspirational conversations. And this is a friend who I always say that I reached Monaco and I found her, and I'm lucky to have found her because she made my life very exciting in Monte Carlo. And I do have a story to share about her before I introduce her and who she is. So we were sitting together after a rigorous, actually I shouldn't say rigorous, we started out saying we're going to have one of those crazy walks to exercise, but we were strolling by the end of it and we said, hey, what the hell, we're together, let's have a glass of wine. And we sat down at one of the cafes in Monte Carlo and we ordered a glass of rosé each, and suddenly we see these people singing downstairs in the restaurant at the beach, and they were singing so amazingly well. And there was two women not dressed the best like you are normally in Monaco. We were probably dressed our worst for once. And we realized that suddenly 2 minutes later, while we were just clapping from the top, this really good looking guy, we were talking about him saying, oh my God, he's hot and he sings so well. And that was a conversation. And he just comes up from there and he sits on his knees and he sings and he serenades to us. And we were like, oh my God, is this real? So I think we manifested that. And that's the whole story. So I'm going to finish this story and tell you why I mentioned this story. So anyways, he sits on his knees and he serenades us. And his friend looks at us and says, do you even know who he is? And we were like, no, like, who is he? We just know he's good looking and he sings really well. And then he made us Google him. And he was somebody, a lot of you would know him. He's called Darius Campbell, and he's a singer and a producer, and he's straight out of Hollywood. And he was sitting and he was singing to us while we were dressed in our exercise gear. And that's how our friendship got intense and crazy. And we've had some amazing times together. And the story I'm telling you this is because Caroli is a coach, a success coach. She has written a book which is going to be launched soon. That's why I wanted her on the show. It's called The Rich Bitch. But she believes in the power of manifestation. And here is a big proof. And at that point in time, when this happened, I was still not a coach. It was her who was the coach. And she said, we can get what we want. And truly so. So that is why, welcome on the show, Caroli. Thank you for joining me today.
Hello, it's my pleasure.
I couldn't resist this story. It had to be told. It had to be told. In fact, I'm hoping Andrew's watching and Darius is watching, so they hear our story of how we met them and how amazing it is to be sitting with the who's who in Monaco and having a glass of rosé, which is, I think, the best part of where we live, right?
Oh yes, and this story is one of the most, like, the craziest stories that can even happen, right? You are just sitting, as you said, in our sport gear, well, deciding not to do the sport but drink rosé, and then finishing with fantastic people, apparently well known. We just didn't know them. And then having this beautiful song sang just for us, like, oh my God, life is beautiful.
We are very lucky. And also we will share the next story in the next segment after I ask you your first question, because I've had the good fortune of actually hearing your story. And I think it's extremely inspirational for a lot of women in India, Caroli. You have actually started from the scratch multiple times and you've been able to build it up. And I think sharing your story will be very important because it will inspire a lot of women. So please do share your journey with us.
Okay, so let's do it like very shortly because yes, I experienced so many things that I think personally I could share with many people and they still would say like, oh my God, my life was so full of experiences. I am from the country, from Poland, that at that time when I was born, it was economically and politically not very funny. And of course, mindset of people at that time was totally concentrated on scarcity. So people were anxious, people were always having no possibility to buy nice things because there was nothing to buy in the shops were empty. So you could have even money at home, but what can you do with the money? You cannot just go and spend and enjoy your life. So this is actually what I learned from the beginning. And when it changed in the 90s, the shops were colorful and full of things. We got inflation with money, so many people lost a lot. And then you started to have another problem. You don't have money and you would love to buy things, but you didn't. You didn't have this possibility. And my dream was always to move to Germany. So I said, when I finish my school, I'm going to Germany. Nobody believed me. My whole family was only saying yes, yes, yes. I finished school, and 2 days later, I was in Germany. Only with one suitcase and with 100 euro in my hand. It didn't matter. I wanted to go to my favorite country. And there I met reality. Things that young person is not thinking about, like, for example, visa, so you can work. I was so naive at that time. I just had my dream of living in Germany. And of course, I hit the wall. It was really painful, but I managed. I found the solution how to stay there, how to get the papers. Of course, I had to work like crazy. I had to go to school because this was the only one possibility how I can stay. I did it even if I was earning at that time 300-400 euros a month, and all of this I had to spend for my one-room apartment. Still, I knew one day my life will be beautiful, and I have to say that even if I was fighting, I didn't have good health because with 17 I got cancer, with 19 I got very bad car accident. So even if I was still not really good in Germany, I never gave up. And one day, let's make the long story short, I got to know the guy and I thought, okay, now we are both working, we got married, so now the life will be fantastic. But because I was at that time a person with very poor mindset, also not believing in myself, not having self-love, I didn't know that the guy is not right for me. And after few years of abusive marriage, we divorced. After divorce, he left me with totally nothing, only with his debt.
Wow.
And I hit the wall again. I was at that time in Switzerland, in the country I actually didn't want to live in. What could I do? I found another job that is much more paid, and I made huge career in a very short period of time, because I really wanted to do it. I did money, a lot of money, but I got sick. I got burnout because for 3 years I was working without any holidays, 7 days a week, like crazy, really like crazy. So again, I had money, I lost my health. And it was always like, no, it's not the solution. Where is the solution of all those happy people who have everything? And I was so unhappy at that time that I knew I have to find the solution. And I found my first coach, my first mindset coach. And he gave me like new point of view on life. I started to listen to him, to really practice what he said, what he was teaching. And short afterwards, I was in Monaco, getting to know fantastic people, opening my own business, and I am happy.
Amazing.
Right now,
Amazing.
I have also love in my life, so I'm also very happy.
That's
And
beautiful.
it's all.
I've actually seen a lot of the transition, because I think I've now known you for, in fact, when I met you is when you had just put all your few things that you managed to get back into a car and driven back into Monte Carlo and started a new life. And I've seen you evolve through belief, faith, manifestation. and of course give back, because you've been changing lives for people by teaching them how to do this, and you are an excellent coach. And I love your settings, because you're usually coaching sitting by the beach, and I think half your clients are already sorted because they're looking at that sea and they're looking at your location and saying, hey, we can do this, like we've got to do this. So I know that you're super, but you mentioned something, Caroli, which actually brought about this question. Before I go to your book, I want to ask you this question because, and I asked, Enzo was with me online yesterday, and I was asking him the same question because he's been fighting for domestic violence for women through the United Nations, through being representing the United Nations. So I wanted to ask you that domestic violence really became a big deal during this lockdown. Believe me, I have a lot of clients that have signed up for me because unfortunately they can't leave. They are stuck in their homes with their husbands. And also, they don't even probably have the courage to leave because there's a lot of decisions to be made when they leave. They have to figure it out. They're all women who have not done anything. They've just been enjoying their life of being married and being pampered. So they don't even have the guts to do it more than anything else. But you've been in domestic violence. What is your advice to the women out there? Say something so they feel either inspired or they have the ability to make some choices. Do give some message to a woman out there for somebody who's faced domestic violence.
Well, there are, of course, two different ways of having this abusive relationship at home, either violence, physical or psychological. So, for example, my husband was never abusive physically, but psychologically. And sometimes people think like, oh, psychologically, it's not a problem. It's sometimes even worse than physical. I was literally every year in hospital just because how my state was. So what I want right now to tell maybe to the ladies who are in relationships like this, and I know you are scared to leave. You are scared because you think you will not make it, you will not pay for your apartment, you will not be able to take care of your children. Believe me, everyone is scared of this, but it's not true. You will manage. You will manage because you will have more power and more energy when you will cut this relationship. Now you think, okay, my husband is like this, but still he is paying for apartment. He is repairing things. And if I am then alone, who will do this? Believe me, first thing, you will not end up alone. After you got back to your strength, you will find fantastic guy because you deserved it, and you will have total different quality of life. So I know it's scary, but believe me, it will not get better in your relationship. And the quicker you go for you, for your children, the quicker it will be better. And I'm sure, especially like in country like India, where family is so important, you will have for sure help from your family, from your friends. Just
Very
ask
well.
them for.
Yeah, yeah. Very well said, Caroli. That's absolutely true. And this is the strength I wanted you to give to the women out there, that, you know what, when you take that decision, the universe will conspire to help you through it. But there is no reason for you to stay in it and suffer. And as of today, even the lockdown situation has gotten better. So we will be able to travel out of the city as well. So I think that the women who need to make that choice should go ahead and make that choice. There is no reason to be in an abusive relationship for any woman. Caroli, another thing I have to say this. Okay, so should I share the second story before I ask you the next question? The second story is about Caroli's love for Philip Line. And it's contagious, just like COVID-19. Her enthusiasm and her passion for things is completely contagious. And she said, you know what, if you've got a party, we've got a party with him. And she would say it all the time. And so we did. One night, we just danced to the tunes of Philip Line in Jimmy's. And that's when I was working on studying, how to become a coach. And I said, oh my God, I totally believe in the power of manifestation and in the power of you will get what you want. You just have to want it bad enough. And that is the girl I'm talking to, who's always got us excited. We can do this. So, congratulations on that, Caroli, and thanks for that amazing evening. Now, I wanted to ask you, you are constantly controversial. So I didn't think that anything would be different now. Your publishers just put a post on the chat where we can buy your book, which is so exciting because I've been seeing you through the journey of putting this book together, guys, which is called The Rich Bitch, if you please. I love it. It's like totally controversial. There's no discussion on it. So tell me first what the book is about. And second, that I know it's become controversial already. So tell us that story as well. But start with what the book is about.
Okay, so the book is The Rich Bitch: 7 Steps to Financial Independence Now. I put in this book all my knowledge that I'm teaching to my clients. And of course, as you know, everything is about mindset. If you want to manifest also money, it starts here, right? So it's not only like go to stock market and buy this and put your money into gold and then you will get rich. No, it's how you can first be rich inside, because without it, the money also will not come. So there is big bunch of knowledge about self-love, about your surrounding, about how to deal with challenges, how to grow up business nowadays. Because of course, 21st century, and especially right now, 2020 shows us that the old forms are dying. You have to adjust yourself. And this is what the book is about: how to really build your stability also in finances, not always looking for someone else to pay for you. And especially because I love to help women, when I was writing this book, I was thinking about ladies. So many times ladies think, again, I have to stay in bad relationship just because he is a provider. No, nowadays you can provide for yourself. And if you have a husband who is making money, hey, together you have even better situation, yes? So it's never painful to have the financial independence. And yes, it's controversial because all the subject is controversial. Already subject of money is controversial. So many people still walking around and saying that money is a bad thing, that this is bad to have money, that rich people are bad people. And I'm asking always like, okay, if someone has to spend some money on charity, who is doing this? This is not a poor person, because poor person doesn't have money anyway, cannot even give. So sometimes if you have something that you really care about, you cannot even help because you don't have means. So already this is very controversial. So I thought, why not the rich bitch? Because so often a lady who decides to go on path of the career, business career, who wanna be independent, who wanna be strong, is already put with the stamp, oh, she's a bitch. And I was like hearing this so many times, even if I was working in Switzerland, because I made career and I was working mostly with men. So for example, when we had meeting, sometimes 200 men have to listen to me, and many of them didn't like it. Why a young blonde woman is standing there and talking, telling them what they should do? So this is why I chose that title. It was like, okay, the rich bitch. It's not bad to be a rich bitch. If you call me like this, okay, it means you have a problem, not me. So I decided to go with this title and also kill the stereotypes of, putting people names, because it's something that we just do automatically without even thinking what we are saying.
Well said, Caroli. Yeah, absolutely. I do understand. And I love the part when you said that when you have to speak to 200 men, a lot of them are not prepared to listen to you because you're a woman. And they just believe, some of them believe that we're still fighting that, aren't we? They believe that they're smarter than us, but they have no idea that we're a lethal combination of IQ and EQ. So we can do anything they do better than them. And now I think in under the circumstances, it is quite apparent that we're also very high in AQ because we've been able to handle adversity way better than the men are handling it because they're not used to working from home or staying home. I feel that I'm working from home and I'm still juggling it all. I'm creating working spaces for everybody, still not rattled, still staying happy and keeping the balance. But men are like, oh my God, am I like really home? Where's the secretary to do half the things? So I do think that's very well said. And sorry, this was not about male bashing. But I want to ask you, so is this title going to be available now on Amazon for everybody to buy, or is there an issue there as well? Because I thought it was meant to be launched today, right? So it's on Kindle today, if I'm not mistaken.
The book is already launched today, so everyone who wants to grab it should grab it today, because today on Amazon we have special promotion. On Kindle, it's only for 99 cents, something around 50 rupees in India. And I have heard already many positive voices from India, so ladies are loving it. So please feel free to go to Amazon, look for me, Caroli Remlinger, and then grab your copy.
Can we also see, do you have your book next to you, Caroli? We'd love to see the cover of the book so it's easy for people to find it on Kindle for starters, and then on Amazon soon. Look at her, look at her. Yes, that is in Monte Carlo, Monaco. How I'm missing by the beach, being by the beach with you and having my glass of rosé as I sit here. Fortunately, the weather today in India has been cooperating with us, so we're okay. But otherwise, I'm missing being there with you. We have Michael who's joined us and he's saying hello to both you and me. We have some lovely audience who's saying they're excited about your book and they're happy to be watching us chatting, Caroli. Caroli, I want you to, before we call it a day, I want you to, if there's any message that you would like to give the viewers, but I'm going to have a special request for you because I do know that I can see audience from your country that's watching as well. So if you can give that message and something inspirational, motivational, and interesting in German first, and then in English for the audience all over the world.
Well, where should I start? We were talking about the rich beach. We are talking about manifestation. So maybe first I will say in English. Many people misunderstand manifestation. And when we are talking about universe, they think, like hocus pocus, something. No, people, it's like breathing. We manifest all the time. And when we are manifesting problems to ourselves, we can also manifest all the crazy stories. Shalini told already 2 of our stories. We have, of course, much more to be told. Oh, yeah. Maybe, we will create, when she finally comes back, few more. You can manifest everything, starting from subject money, going to love, going to health, and even small things as crazy party if you want. Or for example, I wanted to go for a weekend on the yacht and I had no possibility, I had no idea how. I just manifested it and I got invitation from my friends and we went together. We had fantastic time. So even small things like this, you can manifest, and this is what is doing your whole day and then whole week, whole month, whole year, whole life beautiful. So don't think, manifestation is not for me, mindset, No, the soonest you are going on this way, the more fun you will have with your life. So this is my message in English. And if someone here is from my folks, hallo Leute, falls irgendjemand hier auf Deutsch schaut, sehr gerne möchte ich auch ein paar Wörter zu euch sagen. Es geht um Manifestation und um dieses ganze Mindset-Quatsch. Es ist nicht Quatsch, es ist so, als würden wir atmen, ja? Wir manifestieren sowieso immer und zwar jeden Tag, jeden Moment. Also wenn wir uns Probleme und Schwierigkeiten Schwierigkeiten manifestieren, können wir uns auch wunderbare Sachen manifestieren. Und lustige Sache ist, Leute denken, manifestieren nur große Sachen, Liebe, Geld, Gesundheit. Nein, sogar solche Sachen, was wir hier mit Shalini besprochen haben, wie verrückte Party oder irgendwelche super lustige Menschen kennenzulernen, das kannst du dir auch manifestieren, weil aus diesen kleinen Momenten besteht unser Leben. Und unser Leben, wenn wir schon einen Tag super kreieren, dann können wir dann nächste Tage kreieren, da haben wir eine Woche, was ist schön, ein Monat, ein Jahr und schlussendlich ganzes Leben. Also ihr solltet so schnell wie möglich Manifestation lernen und zwar so, dass ihr eure Energie und eure Macht auf Positive, auf das, was ihr wollt, umsetzt und nicht auf die Probleme und Schwierigkeiten und irgendwelche Mangel. Danke.
Awesome. I was manifesting that Caroli is not bitching about me and she's saying good things because I can't understand a word that you're saying. So I believe I manifested it that you said good things about me and about manifestation. But Caroli, you've always been fun, whether it's hanging out on a social evening or having an inspirational talk or doing the TED Talks together or doing crazy stuff that we have or talking about coaching or discussing topics which are totally controversial where we totally disagree and we want to kill each other, but we love each other. And it has been yet another session which has been absolutely crazy. Is there anything else you'd like to say, or should I say bye to the audience for today? Before I do that, I want you to have the opportunity one more time if there's anything that you want to say about your book.
Yes, I will just say, go to Amazon and buy only today. We have promotion. I'm so excited, you know. This is my baby, so I'm so excited. I'm so happy that I can hold it in my hands. It's like,
I feel you. We decided that we'd be together to launch this and, pop that bubbly together, but we're doing this online. And a big congratulations to Caroli. Keep shining and keep inspiring. And the message to my audience is very simple, that go out there and ask for what you want, but be prepared that you may get it. And a lot of times you don't want it by the time we get it. So just be sure what you're asking for. और हिंदी में भी मैं यही कहना चाहती हूँ कि आप जो चाहते हैं आप उसको मांगिए, और जैसे शाहरुख खान ने कहा था, आपको वो चीज दिलाने में पूरी कायनात जुट जाएगी. So go out there and ask for anything. Stay at home, stay positive, keep us all safe, and this too shall pass. There's going to be good times. We'll be partying together soon. And this is a bye and see you again from Shalini Says and Caroli. A big kiss and
thank you for this possibility. And as you said, be careful what you wish for.
Be careful what you wish for and go out there and buy the rich bitch. Until next time. See you tomorrow. Bye.